The House of Consciousness brings to you Brother Alim Bey and Natural Tahuti, dealing with the most profound secret of the female. Why is it the most profound secret of the female? Tune in and you will see why the Negroes are up in arms. Peace and black power, family.
Yeah. So what's going on, man? The first question I have for you, Brother Alim, is do you agree with Brother Natural Tahuti? Who came first? Some people say it's not important. I say it is important.
Right.
You know, we got to get this information back. Who came first, the black man or the black woman?
The black woman. So I definitely agree with Brother Natural Tahuti. There's no doubt about it. The case is real simple. We have the XX chromosome. We have the X. Genetic material is missing from the Y, which would be an X. But because that leg is missing, that shows that there's something in which that is deficient or degenerative within that Y chromosome. So hence, it's not two X's like it is with the woman. Now, what is that leg made up of? It's called ribosome or ribonucleic acids. Well, the word ribosome, ribonucleic acid, the first part of that is the word rib. R-I-B.
What is ribonucleic acid? I want you to break all the science of that.
Ribonucleic acid is RNA.
Okay.
RNA is the primary substance in which that transform into DNA.
Now listen.
Okay, it transforms into DNA from RNA. All right, it's just like short-term memory, long-term memory.
Wow.
DNA symbolizes long-term memory. RNA symbolizes short-term memory. So the experiences which that you go through, the RNA takes in those messages and those communications, and then it's transferred to your ancestral data bank, which is your DNA. Okay, so that particular leg becomes non-coded amino acids. That's what it also is made up of. Now that means that there's particular genetic material in which that is not activated within the male. We still have it, but it's not activated as it is within the woman. It's dormant. All right. Now what scientists are now finding out is that we can still tap into the non-coded DNA, and that there is some type of activity, but it's not to the extent of the XX chromosome, which is within the woman, in which that gives her the ability in order to have children, her uterus being able to grow larger as the child develops within her womb, as well as also her cervix area being able to open wide enough in order to allow the child to come out. You know what I'm saying? Our womb is our prostate gland. If that prostate gland blows up,
that's right,
or becomes enlarged, guess what happens? We can't tinkle. We can't pee.
That's right.
We have problems doing that. And then they'll tell you that, well, you have inflammation or possibly even cancer of the prostate gland. So our prostate gland can't afford to become enlarged. So we find out is that if you examine the woman and the male, the clitoris is the phallus or the penis. You know what I'm saying? Except the men have the elongated clitoris, which is the penis. The testes is nothing more than fallen ovaries. As we know, the ovaries exist within the male inside of him for at least a few weeks before they even descend. The doctors will tell you that the testes, baby. So that means that they're in the same place as what? The ovaries inside the body. Okay? And then they have to descend. That's what is called the fall of man.
Right.
That's the fall of man.
Absolutely.
That's why it's called the Old Testament.
Right.
The Old Testament.
That's
Testicles. Testimony. Matter of fact, in court, before they even had the Bible, you had to swear, you had to put your hand, your left hand on your testicles and your right hand up in order to swear and testify that everything was that you state is true, and you're doing it on your family jewels.
That's right.
You're doing it on your family lineage.
Wow.
You're doing it on your tree of life.
Absolutely.
Because that is what is produced. Okay? So the fallopian tubes is the vas deferens. The clitoris is the phallus or the penis. The vulval lips is nothing more than the sewn up area portion in which that stretches all the way from the base of the man's phallus all the way down to the scrotum sac, all the way to his anus area.
Right.
That was once the opening. The perineum actually was the opening of the vagina, except is now sealed, or what it's called is it actually looked like somebody sewed this shit up.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can just take your whole finger and just run down the whole line all the way to your for the brothers, from the base of your penis all the way down your shoulder sack all the way to your anus, and you would feel a line.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? As if somebody's sewn it up. Scientists would tell you that for 6 months, for 6 weeks, the within the womb, there is no difference between the male and the female child. The male child is feminine until after 6 weeks, testosterone kicks in, based on the woman, based on the disposition of the woman, based on the stress and the emotional state of the woman. Testosterone kicks in then in which that turns that child into a male child. All right, but for 6 weeks within the womb, they can't distinguish between if it's a male child or if it's a female child, and any doctor would tell you that. That's the reason why they tell you, no, we can't check it out until about a month and a half. You know what I'm saying? And then we can see what is the birth of the so-called nature of the child is. That's why they have to use ultrasounds and all those things, but they can't use it before the 6 weeks.
Right.
Okay, so in the science that you have just dropped, you just have knocked out the Bible term of the woman coming from man's rib.
No, check this out.
Yes.
The woman did come from the rib because it's the ribosome. She has it. We don't. That is that missing link. That 2.8%.
I don't understand it.
Now check this out.
Yeah.
The woman body is made from atoms.
Oh,
So
okay.
hence, she is an Adamite. So
right.
hence she came from Adam because her body is made and composed of what? Atoms.
Now let's clear it up for the
The
viewer.
word Adama
When you say
means
Adam,
blood.
when you say Adam, you ain't talking about man.
No, we're not
physical
talking about man. We're
Okay.
talking about Adam, which means blood.
All right.
All right. The oldest blood on the planet is O negative. It dates back over 300,000 years old. Mm-hmm. You can get the book called "Eat Right for the 4 Basic Blood Types." In the book, O means original blood, and he will tell you that. Also, if you do research and a study, scientists will now tell you that women existed on planet Earth 150,000 years before the male species.
That's powerful. Let me add on to that.
Hold on. Before you add on to that, because I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna ask you a question.
Sure.
And matter of fact, I'm gonna ask you the question now. But do you want to add on to that before we take it
I
to
just want
somebody
to
else?
add on real
All right,
quick.
go ahead.
That's very powerful, and I'm glad we're sitting down having this topic because it's sharpening me up. Because
right.
the spin that you just put on it, I didn't hear it that way particularly yet, and I have tons of documentations to prove that the female came first. There is but one sex, and that is the female. And to even go into something like Dr. York talked about with the 9 ether, the woman or the universe actually comes from out of that 9 ether. Now let me make you understand what I'm talking about. When you break down the word feminine, you have the word femi and you have the number 9 in it. It's femi 9. So that 9 is the symbol of pregnancy. Or not only pregnancy, it is the original DNA, that helix. Because all life moves in a circular motion. So she is the original spiritual being. Because in the root of the word spiritual, you have the word spiral. You see what I'm saying? So and then even in mathematics, when I was a part of the Nation of Gods and Earth, we said that the number 9 is born. And so when you also go into the book Metal Netter by Ra Unefa Amen, he says that the number 9 is the number of sex, which is Aset. And so there you have it. She is the feminine, meaning that she is circular. The man is linear because he's masculine. And when you break down the word masculine, you have masculine and you have line. You see? And then now when we go into the problem book of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad had this to say about it. And this goes into reference to all of the brothers that are saying, well, the male is the active principle. What you're not understanding about the woman's number being 9, that is, she is complete. So she's more than just the number 2. She's the number 0. The 0 is the undifferentiated creation. Before the creation, there's the 0. Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that the 1 came from the 0. The 1 is masculine. Again, the 1 is linear. The woman is feminine. So she is circular. So the 0 is the hidden portion of Amen. You understand? That's why Het Haru is called the Eye of Amen, or the Eye of Ra. You understand
Brother
what I'm saying?
Tahuti, what have motivated you to get on this path, to get on this train, and take this train down the road? What have motivated you to do this, brother?
Well, actually,
With this type of teaching?
I'll tell you, after the debate with Wesley Muhammad, because I was pretty much on the right path, just didn't know it at the time when I was talking about the Islamic thing. But what actually happened when we was going through all of that beefing with the BPC and all that, it really got to me.
Yeah.
And you remember we was on the radio show, and I said, you know what? I don't want this to be a part of my aura.
It threw you off your
It
path.
threw everything,
all of us.
my whole life, my job, I lost my job, my relationship at home, everything was going whack. I backed up and I got back into the laboratory. And I'm going to tell you, I don't actually know what actually motivated me, but there is some type of spiritual force in my life that motivated me to the teachings that the black woman was God. And once I started getting into it, I just knew it automatically. I was like, oh, wow, this is the hidden knowledge.
And you've been taught for 30 years that the black man is God.
That the black man is God.
Right.
And I was so easy with the information. It didn't go to my ego as far as me being a man, you know what I'm saying, to say that the woman is God. It didn't go there. So I'm just so very easy with the information. And so I have to really say that, you know, the ancestors is leading me down a particular path. And I'm just really happy to be a representative of the Great Mother. And since I've been on this path of bringing the information of the Great Mother, you know, like the scriptures say, you're going to be tried.
That's right.
You're going to be prosecuted and persecuted.
That's right.
But I'm going to stand strong because I am 1001% sure that the only God is the Great Mother. The man can, like the scriptures say, you're going to be tried.
That's right.
You're going to be prosecuted and persecuted.
That's right.
But I'm going to stand strong because I am 1001% sure that the only God is the Great Mother. The man can only be a God unless he goes back through the womb and be born again.
Woo.
What do I mean by that?
Yes, break it down.
When the brother was in the lecture and he was dealing with the sacred sex, the only way to rise that kundalini upon the spine is through the sex of the woman. She is the fan that fans the fire, Mother Devi. You understand what I'm saying? Without the sublimation of the woman's force, that kundalini will not rise up that spinal column. The only thing that can take place through meditation is sublimations of the energy. Even through pranayama, only sublimations of the energy rises, which is like mist. It's like a mist that rises. But the actual kundalini, which is curled up, what they call Brahman's knot, will not rise up that spinal column unless it is through the woman. And so it is through the Great Mother that man becomes God. And this is the little known secret why the gods of ancient Egypt wore skirts.
Powerful, brother.
And I don't get too much into that.
So we already know Dr. Ben even says that heaven is between the legs of the black woman. So if that's where heaven is at, we come from heaven.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? So she got to be the God force on the planet. Am I right?
You're right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Hold on. All this information right here, my brother, is not new. What happened is it got swept up under the rug when Dr. York was captured by the beast.
That's
now,
right.
why we don't give credit to where credit is due? Dr. York been teaching this for eons, for years, brother. Why, Brother Eileen, why do you think we don't give that credit back to the master teacher? Because I don't give a damn about what they say he did. Right. When you look at that man and study his work, he was a master teacher.
No doubt about it.
Why we don't give credit to that, brother?
Because number one,
before you go on, even everybody that's teaching today,
right.
I don't even need to name it.